about assignments. Many of these things we've already talked about, so we've already looked at the evaluation. I'm going to just page through this. I've already talked about unit quizzes. You can read this more if you want. I've already talked about the book club. So there are 5 of these. You get 2 marks for each one if you participate. I mentioned the blog reflection. So you're going to create a blog using Blogger. You're going to cut and paste the link to your blog using Dropbox. And then maybe I should just mention what the blog is. So there are 6 units, units 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and sorry, 6, 7, 9, where I ask you to write a short, very short, 250-word blog response to some sort of reflective question. For example, I ask you to reflect on organic agriculture in Unit 6. And so you're just going to write a little blog entry, and you can add pictures to it, you can add links to it, whatever you want, but you've got to write 250 words of your own, or less than 250 words, no more than 250 words. And then you're going to post it to your blog. I'm going to have the link to your blog, or the TA and I are going to have the link to your blog, so we're going to be able to check that you've actually posted before the deadline. And so there's 6 of those, and you will get full grades, 5 grades for 5 marks for posting all 6, and you'll get less than 5 if you miss one. And then you will indicate to us 2 blog entries, and you can do this right at the end of the course. But you're going to indicate to us 2 of those blog entries that you would like graded. So you're just going to indicate that by writing beside your, or at the top of your blog post, this one is for grading. This is the first one that I want you to grade, and this is the second one I want you to grade. So you're just going to say for grading number 1, for grading number 2. And then we will, again, right at the end of the course, we will then go to your blog and grade 2 of them. And you'll get grades for sort of the depth of your the thoughtfulness of your post. Okay, I'll explain a little bit more about what we're going to be looking for here a little bit later on. But essentially, we're looking for depth and thoughtfulness in your blog post. Okay, so that's the way the blog works. The food diary assignment, very, very quickly, you can read this yourself very quickly. I'm asking you to keep a food diary for 7 consecutive days. I've actually given you a template that you can use. I'll just show you what it looks like. This is what the template looks like. So here's 7 days. In this space here, you'd write breakfast, you can write the date up here. You can say toast and peanut butter and coffee, coffee with sugar or something like that. Then you could write lunch here, and then you could, tuna sandwich, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then you would just make some notes here. Why did you choose this food? Did you choose it because you like it, or because you think it's healthy, or because you were running late and it was the first thing you grabbed? And then, are there any important qualities to you? For example, you might say that I chose an organic peanut butter because I like to purchase organic food, and then there's a space here for additional comments as well. So that's the way that will work. You'll do that for 7 consecutive days, and then you'll hand that in along with a no more than 500-word reflection discussing your food purchasing and consumption patterns. So I've just given the example here. You might say things like, Kim found she ate oatmeal with organic milk and dried fruit most mornings. And so I might reflect on whether that says something about my environmental attitudes, or my food budget, or my family history, etc. So that's essentially all you have to do for the food diary assignment, and that's worth 10%. So you will submit the table, your diary, and this reflection. Okay, and then there's a more involved written assignment called the analysis of a meal assignment, and this is where you take one meal from your food diary and you prepare a list of ingredients for that meal. Then you choose 6 ingredients and you try to produce the meal as sustainably as possible, so using the most sustainable ingredients. And you will do this by searching out sustainable ingredients. You can do this on the internet, you can visit farmers markets, you can talk to store employees, you can contact food companies. And these are the kinds of questions you might want to answer in this report. And then after you've done all of your investigation, you will write a written report no longer than 4,000 words. In fact, I'd prefer if it was shorter than that. And I want you to be creative in the way you present the information, but obviously creativity doesn't mean poorly organized. So I want it well organized, well structured, but creative. I've given you a possible way to present your information, but there are lots of different ways you can present it. You will also have a very extensive bibliography where all the sources of information that you obtained, and then this is the grading rubric. This is how you will be graded on this assignment. Students find this a really interesting but also time-consuming assignment, so make sure that you start on this as early as you can. As soon as you've submitted your food diary assignment, you really should start on this assignment. Final exam, I've already talked about this, so there is a sit-down 2-hour scheduled final exam. Okay, so that's the assignments.